All right, everybody, here we go. Welcome to Dead Spot Podcast, episode 14. We're here with my guy, Kousin Ker. Today, we're going to be getting into a lot of good football. We're going to be predicting the games. We're going to talk about what we've seen early on in the season so far. I know it's only been a couple weeks. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to pick the games, and I'm going to have Kerr on as a regular guest, and we're going to keep the win-loss record and see who got the better percentage. As more people come on, they'll be able to pick the games from that week. They might not have as many games picked as me and Kerr over the season, but they'll still be able to have their percentage of their 16 games for their week or 32 if they come on 2 times. So we'll just kind of see how that go. But before we get into the picks, Kerr, talk to me. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Chilling, working, grinding, all that fun stuff. But too blessed to be too stressed, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I feel it. Okay, let's get right into it. So right now, through the first 2 weeks, man, who been looking good? Like, let's say a couple players you think been, if you had to pick a top 3, let's say right now for MVP.
Yeah.
What would you think?
MVP, I think Kyler for sure.
So Kyler won?
I think Kyler, I would say my top 3 right now. Kyler probably number 1, just because they have the Cardinals looking unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they should have lost last week, but that's football, man. Like, you got to – whoever wins the game at the end, doesn't matter how it happens.
Right.
The offense is looking crazy. He still had 2 picks. They put up 34 points. Like, it's like they're a well-oiled machine if Cliff can keep it together. I would say Kyler for sure, number 1. I think Lamar has to at least have some consideration just because of what he's doing with what he has.
Okay.
Really putting the team on his back and carrying that team to relevance and keeping them in against like the Chiefs, like even the Raiders too. Like if you got DC as your number 3, then he was going head to head. That was like an overtime game that they won on happened to have like a rub route, and it worked out pretty well with the route running and stuff like that. But I would probably say Lamar really stands out. I want to see Derrick Henry get one, but it's probably not going to happen with the running back because I think I saw a stat. It was he leads the league right now with like 257 or something, or 240, and he's like 201 yards after contact.
Crazy.
Like that's a tank. Like you
Nothing you can do.
Man, I'm hoping Todd Downing doesn't mess up that offense, but we'll see what happens.
He so by himself last week.
You don't run the ball to come back on a team.
That's just not heard of. Yeah.
You don't, but they did. Even with Julio and AJ Brown out wide, they're like, let's give it to the boy.
Right.
He took care of business. I would say them.
And Julio was having a good game too.
You going off, doing typical Julio stuff, not scoring touchdowns, but
yeah, that's how it goes for him.
A lot of yards, not a lot of touchdowns. So yeah, I would say them. There's a lot of good teams that are playing well. I think that they might throw Tom in the media narrative just because of how the Bucs are doing. But I personally would probably go with Kyler, Lamar, and then DC.
DC, your boy.
Sometimes.
So I had DC in there too. I mean, I seen he leading the league in passing yards when I think 817. But then I looked, 4 touchdowns. So that like he a little low on that. So 2 each game compared to, Tom Brady, I think got 9. Kyler, I think got 7, but Kyler got the 2 bad picks last week.
Yep.
So it's all kind of subjective, but he definitely in the mix.
100%.
Because he got 2 good wins against 2 playoff teams from the year before. I think
I think he played like the first half was ugly against the Ravens, but he bounced back, took over in the second half, or not even took over, just kind of. There's 2 Derek Carrs. There's like the timid, I'm missing stuff, I'm kind of got happy feet, I'm shy in the pocket, I'm doing this and I'm getting out quick. And then there's like the Derek Carr you saw last week with Pittsburgh, which is like, listen, let's throw it deep. Let's have some fun. Let's start like actually challenging like the corners and stuff like that. He's in that mode. It's a different ball game. So, he's been doing that for the last 6 quarters. So I'm hoping he can keep it up.
Okay. I agree with Kyler and DC. I would probably take Lamar out, and it's tough because I do like your Lamar point, but like Tom Brady is like, he do got 9 touchdowns. And it's like they coming out looking like they taking care of business. It's not like they playing around or no hangover. And it's like, the first game against Cowboys, it was a good game, but for them to come back and still be able to win it, like, I think he would be 3rd for me right now, below Kyler and DC.
It's tough. I think so. I think that for me,
what'd you say?
For me personally, it's like you look at it. TB has AB, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, OJ Howard, Gronk's going stupid, playing like he's 10 years younger. Leonard Fournette. You know, the whole team, the offensive line is crazy. Defense is balling out. The Ravens, it's Lamar and Tyson Williams. Latavius Murray got signed off the street. Marquise Brown decided to show up this year. You know, Mark Andrews has been pretty quiet for the first 2 games. So like, you don't really know how they're getting these points and how they're winning these games, but they are, or winning that game, I should say. And they are.
Right. For sure.
But I think Tom definitely has a good case.
You're right. Yeah, the Lamar case is definitely legit. I ain't gonna lie. So we got but Kyler you got him number 1 though.
I do. Yeah, he's I think that it's early on in the season. I liked your Josh Allen pick for MVP. Like the way that the NFL is trying to do it is like they want to give every young quarterback an MVP so that they can, when they get to the Super Bowl, it's MVP versus MVP and blah, blah, blah.
You know, it's all about the marketing.
100%. So the fact that Kyler can do that now, they're going to eat that up. Plus, he's running the ball. He's doing everything that people thought Josh Allen was supposed to do this season.
And so, and Josh Allen, I mean, obviously, he's not even in the conversation. He's not even like, we could go probably 6, 7, 8 deep before, maybe even further than that. But luckily, it's only been 2 weeks. They are they 1-1 or 2-0?
Bills are 1-1.
They 1-1. So, we'll get into this when we get to the picks, but it's still some time for my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's definitely not over. Like, you know, last year, Russell Wilson was leading through the first 7, 8 weeks, and then fell off the match. Like, I don't even know.
Serious.
I don't even know if he finished top 5 in MVP last year after just all of this hype. So we'll see. Like, it's still time. But he got to get cooking now because people is off to the races.
Yes.
All 4 people we just talked about are having great seasons for different reasons, but they all doing their thing. So like he for sure got to get it going. But I still feel okay about that pick. Remind me
how to do it for sure. And like they got the team too, and it's just about him putting it together.
Remind me again who you picked.
I had let me pull up my notes for MVP because I was trying to, you know, I respected that pick. I was trying to make something a little different. My MVP pick, I had either Dak or Stafford.
Dak or Stafford?
Yeah, I'll probably lean with Stafford. They're probably going to want to try and play the whole comeback kid. He's most improved or blah, blah, blah. I put him on a new team, and now he has a supporting cast.
Yeah.
He's been going crazy. I put a good player on a good team. It's a shocker that like good stuff works out. But I think if the Rams either win the West or are top 2 seed in the West, you know, the narrative is going to be there all season of, oh, Stafford was the missing piece. He took this offense to a new level.
Right.
You know, it's like kind of like A-Rod last year where it's like he's good. He's been good the whole time, but he just got hot at the right time. He's setting records and blah, 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 this and that, having a great season. So I think Stafford got a good shot at it.
Okay. We'll see. Hopefully we can beat their heads in like we normally do and we get rid of all of that.
Man, yeah, they can't figure you guys out. I don't know what it is. That's like the one team that gives them problems. If they go 15-2, it's gonna be because of you two. I don't know.
Hopefully we can just go on and give it to them. But okay, we'll see how that go moving forward. Offensive Player of the Year, I feel like, I mean, that's the reason they made that because this is a MVP is a quarterback award. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be Henry right now.
Yeah.
As far as, I mean, I'm trying to think of who else would have him. Yeah, it got to be Henry.
He's the team right now. There's nobody else really that's standing out like with the Cardinals, right? Like Kyler's spreading it around. It's not like D-Hop's just catching every single touchdown and doing all that fun stuff. AJ Green, Rondale.
He had a great week 1. I mean, he caught a touchdown week 2, but after he caught that touchdown, it was like Moore got a touchdown. This person, like AJ Green got one last week. So
yeah.
He definitely not just like the way he started off. If he would have came back week 2, D-Hop would be in the conversation too. But everybody else is kind of just too equally shared right now.
Yeah, I think honestly, maybe even it's not going to hurt me to say this, but I would say either Debo or Cooper Kupp, just because of the numbers they're putting up, and it's like Debo with having the great yards per catch stuff like that. Like he's literally the whole offense. You give him the ball on a slant, and he's taking it 40, 50, whatever it might be. So he's I think he has 300 yards already through 2 weeks, like 15 catches too. So it's like he's
leading the league in receiving yards right now.
So they probably want to give it to somebody that's not usually going to get it. So I think DH is a great pick. I like it a lot. I would give it to DH, but I think there's some people on his heels for sure.
No, because Debo, I'm telling you, last week, bro, we was looking horrible against the Eagles. If he don't take that slant, if he's down to the 5 or whatever, I don't know what would, because we wasn't like that was one of Jimmy's worst halves I didn't seen him play in a while, fully healthy. Like, I don't know what he was doing. He looked nervous. He was rushing throws. He was overthrowing little 12-yard routes. Like, what are you doing, my guy? Like, dude, right here.
I tried telling you about the Eagles, man. I tried telling you they were going to be all right this year. Now, losing Brandon Graham's tough, but defense isn't that bad. And Jalen Hurts has been doing his thing.
Yeah, he have. I ain't gonna lie. He been doing pretty good. I mean, we'll see how he continues. Like, all I know is that certain guys that start good and they look good, and it don't always finish good. You know what I'm saying? Including your boy that's on our MVP list. We will see how it continues.
I'm with you. I'm a truther. I get it.
But it's just like right now, yeah, Hurts is doing this thing for sure. For sure. I'm all with it. But we might as well get into these picks now. So you ready?
Let's do it.
First game, Kousin Ker. We got Washington and the Bills.
This is tough. I think that Heineke's been balling. I didn't know if he could keep the playoff magic going, but he looked really good against the Giants. Granted, is the Giants' defense not the best defense in the world? They do have some good corners, though. I think this might be a Josh Allen revenge game, though.
Okay.
I think they might come back and do something. I think that Trey White's going to have Terry in a box. Curtis Samuel's still out. We'll see what happens if Logan Thomas and Antonio Gibson can carry the offense. But I think this is the game that Josh Allen kind of tries to get back on track.
Okay, so you got the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I got the Bills as well. So this is what I was saying about Josh Allen bouncing back. I think he'll have a huge game against a pretty good defense. Washington is one of the better young defenses in the league, if not just one of the best defenses overall in the league.
Definitely.
So I think he's going to have a big game. I could see him throwing 3-4 touchdowns this game, or having 3-4 touchdowns in total because he might run for one.
Definitely.
But I think it'll be a blowout. I think I got Josh Allen winning big, getting his name back in that top 5, and we just going to slowly chug away. We're going to wait for Kyle to have a bad week, and here we come. We on the edge. So, yeah, it starts right here, though.
Mm-hmm. So I think that what the Bills did on defense last week against the Dolphins, I think they can carry some of that over this week in terms of they get generating the pass rush. Washington's offensive line is not the best in the league. The right tackle is a rookie out of Texas. He's been getting beat consistent, more often than not on the right side. You put Greg Russo, Epinesa. They got some boys. So I think they can make it happen.
Okay. Now we got Chicago and the Browns.
I got Cleveland. Justin Fields starting out, I think he'll do good. But, if you've seen one thing from the rookies is that it started this year, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, not really doing too hot. It's a different game from college to the NFL. And seeing kind of the struggles that they've had. Even Justin Fields came in last week. He was 6 of 10 with a pick, or 6 of 11 or something like that. So I think that you just give it to the Browns. Now, granted, the defense is going to stuff them. It's a tough defense to run on, let alone pass on. Jarvis Landry being down is tough, but you still got the tight ends in there. OBJ coming back this week. Now we'll see what kind of run he gets with the snap count. So trying to ease him back, but I think the Browns got this one in the back.
Yeah, I got to go along with that as well. I'm excited for Fields. I'm excited to see what this is about. I'm excited for this new era. I'm excited for my fantasy team because I got Allen Robinson in the league. So I'm excited for all of that. But it's not going to start off here. It's too much going on with that D-line. Their defense is too good.
Yeah.
Now, the offense is I feel like the Browns' offense has been a little bit overhyped, a little bit. But, Jarvis Landry is out. But even with Odell, it's kind of like they're not as dynamic as people make it out to be. The running backs is there. Obviously, they got the best 1-2 punch in the league. But as far as Baker and them receivers and even they tight end, it's cool, but it's not elite how people were saying they just elite on both sides of the ball. They elite in certain aspects. They're elite in running the ball, but they receivers and pass game, I don't really think I could give it elite.
Not at all. I think Baker. I'm not a big Baker guy. I think he's the definition of a game manager. Yeah. He's like Alex Smith, but can't really run that fast. So if he could just get it to his weapons, then that's cool. But they don't have. It's definitely not the Bucs.
Yeah, not at all.
No.
So if this wasn't Justin Fields' first game, this was like game 3 or 4 for him. I could see him coming and get an upset.
For sure. He still might do it.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he did do it. But like even if he had started last week, I could see him maybe getting the Browns. But your first start, I don't see that. So I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna stick with you on that. We got the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go Ravens, Lions.
Ravens.
Yeah, I don't even think as much needs to be said about that.
No, the Lions are in a rebuild. They're not doing anything anytime soon.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, people say Lamar been sick, like or whatever, but I think he could be good to go. I don't non-COVID, he good. He gonna be out there.
Mm-hmm.
As long as he play, I don't care.
I think he hurt his hip too on the little flip at the end of the game last week. So I know he missed practice or something like that.
But I ain't gonna lie, when I was watching that with Edge, I said, babe, why is he flipping? Like, what is like? I just don't like that type of shit. Like, it looked cool, and it's like, ooh, but bro, you are too valuable to this team to be doing shit like that. I don't know. And I know people like, oh, he just having fun, but it's like, bro, you don't even got your money yet, bro. You don't even got your.
Come on,
you're not paid like Allen and Mahomes and Dak, bro. You better sit your ass down so you can get paid.
No guarantees at all.
And he not even like a big dude, like you skinny, bro. You over here, like if you gonna do it, bro, land it. Don't be landing on your hip, dude. Like, bro, I don't know. Certain shit just be having me frustrated, but whatever.
Man.
What like? All right, let's keep it jumping. Colts Titans. I think this would be a good one.
Colts Titans. Is Carson still out?
Carson playing, from what they saying.
With the 2 sprained ankles?
Hey, man, and they saying he looking like a go. 2 sprained ankles.
The Titans, man. The Titans
not like get no luck. They just have no.
I just don't know how you do that. Like, was it at the same time? Are you just like folding like Bambi, or is it like at one after the other?
Yeah, I need more clarification on that. How is that even? I don't know, man.
That's a new one, but I'm gonna say I like Tennessee a lot, but defense has been like a suspect all season. I think the Colts might get off the pine on this one.
Ooh, here we go. You got the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen, for my viewers that don't know, I'm a Carson Wentz guy. I like Carson Wentz. I will always stand on the table and say he's still the only quarterback in history that took a team to the playoffs without a 500-yard receiver. It has never happened again, and it never happened before him. So it's like, and he was almost MVP. He just got hurt like 2 games before, which, like, you know, I mean, I feel like he's still a good quarterback. But I mean, injuries and stuff like people say, you know, your best ability is availability and all. I get it, but people act like Carson Wentz is a scrub, and I just can't get jiggy with that. I just can't. But off the 2 sprained ankles, though, it's tough to say like this game he gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, so with all that being said, I gotta go with the Titans though. I feel like,
yeah, just
based off of that, like I really do like the coach. I do like Carson Wentz, but the injury, like, and Derrick Henry, like I feel like, you know, he like once he get going, now he can rail off a few weeks where it's just night, you know. So yeah, I gotta go Titans.
I think even then, it's like Jacob Eason wasn't playing that horrible when he went in relief. I think they got enough outside, Pittman, Zach Pascal. He's got a couple guys, you know, Hines at the backfield. We'll see if Jacob or Jonathan Taylor can kind of turn it around a little bit. He's been kind of a shaky start, but like I think he leads the league in carries within the 5-yard line, but like does not have a touchdown yet or something like that. He keeps knocking on the door. He's going to get in eventually. So, you know, I think this might be the week. You got Buckner on the defensive line. You know, you got what's the linebacker's name? You got some boys on.
They got Leonard.
There you go, Darius Leonard. So they got a cool little defense where it's like, granted, DH is going to run over everybody, but I think they got some pieces there where they might be able to slow him down just enough, keep him in the game.
And then also, not only that, but I think because Ryan Tannehill ain't been really playing that good to start the season either. No. I think like this is a game where it's like, you know, him and Julio last week, I know it was the first half, but like they started kind of clicking a little bit. So it's like mixing that, and obviously AJ Brown, they got to get him more involved. He had a few drops early these first 2 weeks, but it's just like, you know, just keep trying to feed him the ball, keep staying consistent. He a young dude with a lot of talent, but it's like, you know, they still young. So it's like if you make a few bad plays and you stop going to him for a minute, his confidence might get a little shaky. And then he got a Hall of Famer, top 5, 6 receiver all time on his team. So it's a lot of pressure for this young dude. So keep him involved. Keep him. I mean, obviously DH, that's what it is, but
100%.
you got to keep these guys involved. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let Ryan Tannehill continue to kind of flourish the way he's been flourishing these last couple of years. So I think this is get on track.
I think a big loss for them that they didn't really fix was Lewis and Jonnu Smith in the offseason. I think that kind of athlete off the play action pass opens up so much stuff, and it brings either safeties up or whatever it might be. Because a lot of what Tannehill is he's athletic, right? Like he can play action, bootleg. I'm out here, we can chuck it deep, can do whatever, do some wheel routes, blah, blah, blah. So losing Jonnu, I think they have like Anthony Friskner or something like that now. It's a huge downgrade. So it's like they can just stay out wide. They don't really have to cover the middle of the field that much. So it's like, okay, either they hand it off or they're going to the boundaries. It's much more two-dimensional versus like, oh, where are they going to attack us from?
Right.
I think Tannehill and losing Arthur Smith, I guess, was the key to that, the success the last couple of years. But I'm not a Todd Downing guy. He ruined the Raiders for a minute. But, that's a big loss. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I feel like that should be one of the better games of the morning because there's some fire going on in the afternoon game. But the morning games, I think that'll be one of the better ones. Next game, we got Chargers, Chiefs. So was the Chiefs in a blowout?
I want to say a blowout. I want to say a blowout. I don't think so, but I don't think Pat's going down 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. Chargers, granted the refs were doing whatever they were doing against the Cowboys last week, but they didn't look that good against what people are saying is the Cowboys defense, and the Chiefs defense isn't playing much better, but you definitely got some better boys down there in KC, Tyrann, blah, blah, blah. So I think that pair with Patrick Mahomes, just, hey, let's have some fun and go out there and do some things.
And yeah, I also have to go with the Chiefs a lot because they did lose last week. Mahomes not really losing back to back, but and like you said, the Chargers, like I was high on the Chargers. I got them going to the playoffs, but like you said, they only put up 17 last week against Dallas. What it was 2017. I was disappointed in that. Like this offense is supposed to be a little bit more like high power. Like what's going on? Like y'all supposed to be able to move the ball down the field. We supposed to be putting a point. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they had a big week 1 either. So it's like this is 2 weeks in a row of y'all. And like I said, I know it's early. Let me see what did they do week 1. They only put up 20 to week 1. So you had 20 and then you had 17. You only averaging 18 and a half points. That's not really that dynamic. So I don't really know. And especially with Mahomes, he's coming out firing. Y'all have to get to the 30s. And I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs defense is starting off not that great.
No, it's not. Not at all.
But it's like, I mean, you got the Cowboys, and I mean, they're not good defenses, and you still not putting up. So hopefully, like I hope that this is a close game. I want to see a shootout. I want to see Justin Herbert kind of get on track because I do like what they got going, and I picked them to go to the off, so I need them to kind of
pick it up.
I need shit to go, but no, I don't see this being an upset. I don't see him getting upset 2 weeks in a row. I can't.
No, I think that one thing being a Raiders fan for so long and having the Chargers in your division, the Chargers are going to Charger stuff as much as the Raiders are going to do it. Like they just always find a way to lose somehow, some way.
Yeah. Whether
it's the refs, whether it's this, whether it's that. It's like their ability to close, whether it's a new coach, an old coach, hasn't been there. So it's tough because I got talent everywhere.
Man, bro, that's what I'm looking at. Like is people even Mike Williams starting to get involved a little bit because he be in and out the mix, but it's like, and you got Keenan, like you got boys. Hopefully,
Jared Cook's no slouch either. Jared Cook is no slouch at tight end.
Come on, bro. So it's just like, what the hell are y'all doing? Hopefully Keenan turn up, like I said, man. Shout out my fantasy team. I just traded for Keenan. I'm playing you this week, actually, Kousin Ker. So hopefully Keenan turn up.
Man.
Hopefully get a shootout.
We'll see. Exactly. There we go. Let's keep it interesting. We'll see what happens, though. We'll keep it interesting.
I want it to be a 30s game, but I mean, the Chiefs, man, they start to get to the point where, like, if they get up early on you, they start to run away, man. You start making mistakes. Like, he's not there yet, but soon he gonna get into that Tom Brady.
Mhm.
Where it's like, oh shit, we losing to Tom Brady. Now let's just start throwing picks and jumping off sides and off starting just because we're nervous. Like Tom
Right,
Brady
right.
got mind control over players. I feel like Mahomes is starting to come.
Man, it was when we were doing that last episode, we were out at the Baseline Bay Area. They were down to the Browns at halftime, like 22-9 or something like that.
Yeah, and then
And
the
you're
Browns
they're like, hey, yeah, I don't know. When I was at the house last
running
year,
game is in the whole league, but we're gonna start throwing it now up because we scared of what he gonna do. That's just he's the truth.
man, that's crazy.
Let's see. Saints, Pats. This is a good one. This is another good one.
Saints, Pats. I got the Patriots. Yeah, I'm a Jameis guy, but the Pats defense is for real.
Okay.
Getting Marshawn Lattimore back is big, but it's not like the Patriots have weapons out wide to be covered now. It's like Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne.
Right.
Like they're not even throwing him the ball anyway. I think Mac Jones was 22 or 30. I think I was listening to Deep Third podcast. He was like 22 or 30. Didn't complete it or didn't attempt to pass like 8 yards.
Exactly.
So, it comes down to it. And it's like, the linebackers and they got so many injuries on the Saints right now where Mac Jones doesn't lose the game. Hand it off to Damian Harris, go James White, Jonnu, Hunter Henry if he's still healthy. Make it happen. Jameis will ball out, but I don't know if he'll do anything I hope he balls out, I should say. But it's tough with the weapons he has, man. Like he's just not really throwing anybody.
Yeah. Well,
so I got the Pats.
You got Pats. Okay. I took the Saints in this one because I feel like you said with Jameis, the thing about Jameis is he's not like just super consistent. Like he did great week 1, and he was bad week 2, and Kamara didn't really do nothing. So now I feel like gonna be bounce back in for both of them. But that's why, that's the difference between like great players and then the good players of the league. Like Jameis is a good player with great talent. Like that, like great players is consistent. Every week you could damn near expect it. They might have a 1 or 2. Jameis, he gonna give it about every other week. Some week he might have 2 bad weeks and then give you a good one. But when he good, it's like, oh shit, like kind of like how you were saying with DC, like when they own and when it's looking, it look like
popping.
Oh, this is why they saying that this is one of the more talented players, but then they just can't do it. They don't do it every week. But I feel like this is the week to do it. I feel like if he was going, and me, I'm still just not that high on Mac Jones, so it's hard for me to just say like, oh yeah, Mac. And like you said, like they said on Deep Third, like he ain't threw over 8-yard pass. Like it's straight check down, straight fluff offense, it's straight like I don't know. Like and Lattimore back, like even though like you said, they don't have no big outside threats. Like him just being there kind of just raised the morale of the team. I feel like I don't know, and I'm really high on Lattimore. Like I got him in that elite category. Like, I don't care nobody. He don't never really get talked about it, but he's a top 3-4 corner in the league, in my opinion. And he been that like almost his whole career. Like he came in as a rookie, going crazy. I maybe wouldn't have gave it to him then, but you could already see he had the potential to be that. And he ain't never really let it down since. I don't know. So I got the same. So far we got 2 games different. You took the Colts and the Pats. Okay, let's keep it jumping. Falcons, Giants.
Man, it's tough because I think I went with the Giants were my second, or like not my second playoff team. I think they were my second place finish in the East, though. I think they get off the pine, man. I don't know what the Falcons are doing. It doesn't make sense. Organizationally, I think them and the Lions right now might be vying for that number 1 pick, number 2, kind of like a Jets Jaguars thing last year. Like I just don't know what they're doing right. Like they got Calvin Ridley out there, but Kyle Pitts didn't make sense. It doesn't at all. The defense is losing everybody. They're just like not playing well. The Giants should have beat the Washington Redskins last week, but they couldn't get out of their own way. Whether it's the drop, whether it's the hold, it's not the hold, whether it's jumping off sides and you on top of the ball.
Right.
I think they get over the hump this week, and it's looking ugly for the Falcons, man.
And so I agree. But to touch on what you said about Kyle Pitts, certain things like that just kind of don't really make sense because it's like you could have traded back a little bit, got some assets, and then probably still been able to get him. Like, I don't understand what teams be doing with these, like, taking players that don't really fit there. Like,
Yeah, it's people get caught up in like the best player available thing and all that fun stuff. He's a generational tight end. We could build it around him.
yeah,
But I mean, he's not gonna. You can't win a game because your tight end is that good unless they're like really, even like Tony Gonzalez. The Chiefs didn't. What did the Chiefs win? Like, no, they won games. But they didn't really make any noise, and they even had Larry Johnson and Trent Green and all the other stuff. But it's like he's not gonna move the needle, especially as a rookie. But he's not going to move the needle. You got to get him the ball. You got to protect the guy getting him the ball. And you got Mike Davis and Cordero Patterson in the backfield. But that's
right.
not a recipe for success. Offensive line's been shaky. They even had Hayden Hurst from the Ravens. So they already had a decent enough tight end to get him to do what they wanted to do. I get it, right? Arthur Smith wants the kind of John New-esque athletic tight end where you can kind of do some things. And from that perspective, I get it. But that was not the missing piece to take you over the top.
It was like, you gotta look at it like Kelsey, Kittle, all of these great players at tight end, like Waller. The Kelsey, but Waller don't really fit the point I was trying to make. But Kelsey, what I was trying to say is, over the last few years, he's been balling, right? Like, even before Mahomes came, he was still putting them great numbers, but they still wasn't winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't just because, oh, we got this great tight end, we gonna get it done. Like, like, and even with us, like, we had Kittle, but until like everything else, like our defense got better, until our run game took off, he was our best player, and what he was doing was showing. But until it came around as a full team, we wasn't winning them games like we were. And like, even so, we could use Waller. Like, he had a great season last year, but because his great season, y'all still didn't make the playoffs. So it's like, not saying it's not important, but it's not the most important thing. Once you start putting your pieces together, it's like, oh, we got this great tight end. It's like, okay, that just makes us way better than everybody. But it's like, you got to get them other pieces in place. Like, because tight end, receiver, right, those are dependent positions. So it's like, your best player being from a dependent position is kind of tough.
It is.
If you don't have other good pieces around him.
Listen, you can give Derrick Henry the ball 30 times, he'll rush for 200 yards, something like easy.
Right.
Almost every time.
Right.
Matt Ryan, you got Calvin Ridley out there who could be a Pro Bowl talent. You got to get him the ball.
Right.
This is the thing that Coop was going through a lot with the Raiders. He would have the on and off games. He's doing a little bit in Dallas too. But it's not all the receivers' fault that they have a bad game.
Not all the time.
You see it, and it's like he'll get 4 targets.
Yeah.
What do you want him to do with 4 targets?
Right.
He goes, okay, he has 4 targets, 3 catches, 34 yards. Cool, perfect. That's a cool little. That's 3 for 4. It's not his fault. You're not throwing him the ball. Now he could be getting covered or something like that. He could be not running his routes. But with receiver, it's not. They're only as far of a game changer as much as like the quarterback that can get them the ball.
And that's another thing that separates the few, like the elites, like the D-Hop, like the way he was. That's what make what he was doing in Houston so impressive. Like, before they got Deshaun Watson, he was still throwing 1,000-yard seasons. I don't care who. It could have been me and you out there throwing the ball up. He was still finding a way. He was getting double teamed. Let's get open, slant routes, whatever it is, drag route, whatever I got to do to get the ball in my hand. Yep. And then I got it. Now let me get busy. Like, that's what makes that impressive, bro. Because like you said, if your quarterback not elite, it's hard for you to be elite week in, week out. Like A-Rob, bro. A-Rob is another example of a player who I love, bro. Right. Allen Robinson, but he just ain't had the quarterback he needs to show that he's a top 8 to 10 talent, bro.
It's Larry Fitzgerald's whole career, man.
Right.
When he had Bolden, like he's the one guy.
And went to the bowl.
Come on, man. Come on.
And almost won that thing.
Should have. I still think Santonio was out, but that's a different story.
It's neither here, man. Then it's like, bro, the pick at the end of the half, like, bro, how do y'all let dude
slow ass James Harrison?
How do he fumble all the way for 99 yards? Like, bro, I don't know, bro. Hella people would have been getting fired off my team because it's like, bro, what do you mean? He was, oh shit, I'm still on my feet. Oh shit, I'm still going.
On the sideline, bro, tiptoeing down. You cannot push this big ass dude over. Come on, man.
Like, that's one of the worst plays by a team in Super Bowl history, because there's no way he shouldn't even been able to run 99 yards without getting tired. Like, he should have damn near hit the floor himself just based off of his big ass running that far.
Bruh.
Like, I don't know. That was some of the worst shit I've seen. And I still be worried about. And one of the reasons I'd be mad is because my mom had a football pool and it was on her number. So when he got the pick, I'm like, oh shit, we finna win. I'm like, somebody gonna push his ass. I had stopped kind of looking. I'm like, his big ass still running, and then he just fell in his zone, took us off the money. It was like a $4,000 win or something. Like it was vicious. I was hot.
Damn.
Yeah, all they had to do was just push him down. Like we'd have been in there. But
shout out James Harris.
Pussy. I mean,
right. You can tell him that. I'm not gonna tell him that.
Oh yeah, I ain't telling Big P got it. Let's keep it going. We got Bengals, Steelers.
I got the Bengals. Yeah, I got the Bengals. I still don't know if Big Ben's playing or not. I think this is the week Dwayne Haskins is taking. I think he was hurt. I saw him like taking up he was wrapped up like LeBron's knees for like on Wednesday or Thursday. TJ Watt being out, you saw that big of a difference that made last week against the Raiders. You know, Melvin Ingram's still there. I think Tuitt still might be out too. Joe Hayden might still be out. I guess it's a recipe for the success of a recipe for disaster for the Steelers, and it's just like right place, right time for the Bengals. Where now T. Higgins is down, but that's why you drafted Jamar Chase. You got Chase, you got Boyd, Joe Mixon. I think might be second leading rusher in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Play good enough, I think it'd be all right.
That's it. This was a game. It took me a minute to pick this one because, like you said, it's a lot of signs pointing towards the Bengals should win it. But I don't think they quite there yet. Like, I don't know. When I talked about this when y'all was on last time. Like, when you've been little brother for so long, it take a minute before you like start winning these type of games. And they on the road. It's in Pittsburgh. And Najee, even though he had that crazy stiff arm last week, like he still ain't really had a bust out game yet. I don't know if he rushed. I don't think he had over 40 in either of the games yet. So it's like he's still kind of waiting to get take off. I think this could be the game against a young Bengals team where he could kind of get his little foot. And I know they're not like bad on defense, but it's like I think Najee could get it going. A few little screen plays, little drop offs. Then his little run game open.
I think this is kind of what I touched a little bit on with Zeke is it's not necessarily like the running back can only have as good a season as offensive line does. And the offensive line of the Steelers needs work. Yeah, bad. Like it's tragic, and that losing that. Now the Raiders were balling out against the Ravens and the Steelers, but we'll see how that carries over. Like, even the Dolphins is a bad offensive line, but how good is the Steelers' offensive line? You know, I love Najee. I think he's not generational. I think he's like a top. He could be a top 8 to 12 back in the league easily, perennially for his career,
for sure.
But I don't think he's going to get those kind of yards just because they're not that kind of blocking. Like I think he'll get 1,300, 1,400 total yards this year. Maybe most of it might be receiving, maybe like 800 rushing, 600 receiving, something like that. Just because there's just not enough blocking for him.
And the thing about Najee is it's kind of slept on. I mean, a lot of people do know, but like he got good hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could come out the back. Like when some of the shit he was doing at Bama, as far as from a receiving standpoint, was nasty. So it's like, if that's what you got to do to kind of open it up a little bit, to kind of get some people out the box, then do it. But another problem is, Dwayne Haskins being there might actually help Najee. So. Like I said, Ben can't bend his knees. So if you can't bend your knees, you can't go under the center. If you can't go under the center, we're running from shotgun. It's not going to be successful for a whole game. So maybe Dwayne Haskins getting in that could help Najee a little bit. I don't know, but I'm going with the Steelers.
Yeah, I think Dwayne is going to be I'd tell you, I think this might be the end of Big Ben. You saw in the press conference last week, he's like, I'm not playing well enough. That's on me. I think if Dwayne comes out, does what he has to do. They have weapons everywhere.
Yeah.
Deontay, Chase, Juju, Ebron, Najee.
He loaded on. Yeah. It looked good.
You just need somebody to get him the ball. That's it.
Ebron ain't even been getting no target. Ebron had 2 targets last week with no catches. And I'm trying to remember, did he have 1 catch the week before or maybe 2? But I think he might got 2 catches on the season. That's not right. Good. I don't care how many receivers they got. Let me see. This next one, Cardinals, Jags.
Cardinals.
I think by landslide?
Yeah, that's not going to be a good one. Urban Meyer's overwhelmed out there, man. I don't know. It's almost as bad. Sam Darnold had that quote about seeing ghosts, right?
Oh, yeah.
I saw something about Urban Meyer saying coaching the NFL is like playing Bama every week.
Yeah,
Can't come out and say that. You can't come out and say that week 2. You can't do that. Trevor Lawrence just looked phony. I was never really a Trevor Lawrence guy. Like, I think he was cool. I don't know. I don't see the whole generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never got it. He has good enough weapons to do something in Jacksonville. It's just not coming together.
Yeah.
It's just not. The defense is cool, but, MVP Kyler, I think this is going to be another one of those breakout games. He has 4 or 5 touchdowns, maybe a rushing one, like 4 or 5 total, maybe. Probably over 300, maybe 400 total yards. There you
go. So this one, I also picked the Cardinals, but my notes say I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think, only because the Cardinals play the Rams next week.
Little trap game.
I think they're going to be looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a big division game, first game against Stafford. And we know the way it's looking, the NFC West is going to come down to the division games. So it's like you got to take them. You got to take care of them. So it's like I feel like they're going to be looking at them and, the Jags, Trevor Lawrence been looking bad. Urban Meyer's saying crazy things week after week after week. Like, so I feel like, I think they're going to find a way to pull it out, but I feel like for that first half, maybe even like 3 quarters, I think the Jags, and it's like, bro, Trevor Lawrence is, like you said, he's not generational like they've been saying, but he is a good quarterback. So it's like, at some point, he's going to have a decent half or so. But, so
I hope so.
I don't think this is, I can see this being, honestly, I can see this being a touchdown game or even less, like 7 or lower, I feel like.
I think Vegas got it at minus 7.5.
They got it at 7.5? See, so if I was still a betting man, I'd be trying to wean off. I don't know. That Jags with the plus 7.5 wouldn't be looking too bad. Put a little teaser on there. They got the 6-point teasers, but that's a different story. 13.5, definitely jumping. Hey, if you betting, I'm just saying, 13.5, it'd be looking good to me.
Okay.
Yes, sir. 13.5. Jets versus Broncos.
Broncos. Bronco, I'm not losing Mekhi Becton week 1 was tough for the Jets. I like what they did this offseason a lot with going with Zach and Elijah Vera Tucker in the first round. I think that's a recipe for success is protecting your young QB, but he's been getting hit a lot these past 2 weeks. Those 4 picks were not just like they're making good plays on the ball. They were ugly too. It was going straight to the receiver. I think I saw one, like, was this a punt return? Like, he's just standing there and it went right to him. So it was bad, man. I think that they just don't have it together right now, which is tough because they have weapons out wide with Corey Davis and Elijah Moore from Ole Miss and that kind of stuff. But Broncos looking nasty. Teddy B's carrying the team. He's not carrying the team, but he's playing well enough for they're really explosive. They got enough weapons out wide. Melvin Gordon's still balling. Defense is going crazy. Cortland Sutton's balling out again, which is great to see. He's back from the ACL injury, but losing Judy was tough, but apparently not because they still 2-0.
So, and the thing is, that's another reason why, just to go back to the Chiefs are not losing a game, and they know the Broncos are playing the Jets to go 2 games, even though it wouldn't be like just catastrophic, but they don't want to be 2 games back in their division.
No.
This early on. And the Raiders is playing who?
The Dolphins.
Or we'll get to that in a minute. Or did we already?
No, it's next, I think.
Yep, that's next. So we'll get to that next. But these teams are playing winnable games, and you see they're already ahead of you. They're not finna, no, they're going to take care of business, and so are the Broncos. Listen, the thing about the Broncos, bro, and I like Teddy, but it's just scary to see like what they could do with a quarterback that's not really elite. Like, if they mess around and get Aaron Rodgers this offseason, or find a way to get into the Deshaun Watson, if they fix that and he gets back, this is going to be a good team.
Man.
So it's like, when people say they're quarterback away, they've proven it every time. Like, anytime they get a quarterback that played decent, they look good. It's just that the quarterback either get hurt or they go back to playing average and then they kind of fall off. But the Broncos is not a bad team.
No, that's why, like, when it was the offseason, I think I had a tweet. It was if Deshaun Watson went to this was back when the Falcons had Julio. If he went to the Falcons or the Broncos,
it would have been nice.
It would have been over with.
Yes. So it's like, I don't know, because I feel like y'all division got a lot going on to where, like, the Chiefs is like obviously they're the best team, but it's like that might be coming to an end as far as at least like just running away with it.
Bro, if A-Rod came, that might be the division with the best quarterbacks in the league.
No, it would be. I mean, you got A-Rod,
Mahomes, Herbert, and then DC is like a fourth quarterback.
Yeah, that would be the best. Yeah, that would be good. That's elite. That's elite. As far as the division go, I don't know no other divisions that's. I mean, hopefully once Trey, if he come on hot, Kyler, Russ.
That's true.
But and then Stafford, so that's a good one.
That's a really good one. Yeah.
But obviously these are the two best divisions in football. We keep saying it, so it's like everything just keep leading back to damn these divisions is good.
It's tough, man. It's tough. If we could send them all, we probably would. But
yeah. Okay, so keep it in your division: Dolphins versus Raiders.
This is Raiders.
Raiders blowout.
I'm hesitant to say blowout, but Jacoby Brissett.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was something like he holds the ball the longest, like the fourth longest in the league over like since he's been in the league. The Raiders are getting there. Max Crosby leads the league in pressures. Like we're getting to the quarterback with 4, not even 5 people, 5, 6 people, not even have to blitz. Right. So that's a recipe for disaster. Offensive line's not playing good. Defense will play good. I think that, with Ruggs having the game he had last week, I think he comes in with some confidence. Ryan Edwards is getting some looks when we need him in crunch time. Waller's going crazy. I think Josh Jacobs I think he's doubtful. Yeah. But we saw last week that we could attack a defense with Kenyon Drake split out wide and make some stuff happen. So I think we'll be all right, man. I think we'll take care of business at home.
Okay. And yeah, I think so too, especially with Tua out. If Tua was there, Tua, my guy, I think I had the Dolphins when I was looking at the games earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I take the Raiders. And my guy, Dijon, said, like, he's also a Raider fan. He said he felt like this is a game that let him know, like, kind of how your season going to go, because this is typically a game like the Raiders, backup quarterback, the Raiders should blow them out. Like, this is a game that they would usually lose.
MVP, Derek Carr, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, everybody hyping up Derek Carr, and then it's like 2-3 picks, we lose the game. So it's like he said, like, he's looking for a big game this week.
It could happen. I don't think that we're going to be able to make the one-dimensional thing last for long.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this is the defense that's going to stop it this week.
Right. Okay, let's see. This is the best game of the day, probably. Bucs Rams.
Oof. I got the Bucs.
The Bucs.
I got the Bucs. I think the Rams defense, I was higher on them in the beginning of the season than I think apparently I should have been. They've been kind of getting not torched, but they're not looking to shut down as they used to.
Okay.
I think Brady's going to have typical kind of Brady day, and if you look at what Stafford was doing the past couple of weeks, I think that the Bucs defense is really like that. So I think that they're really going to shut them down. I think that Henderson being iffy or whatever might be. I'm a Michelle. I don't mind Michelle. I think he's a cool little. He'll get 4 yards of carry, which is what you kind of ask for out of a running back. I think he went 10 for 46. I think last week.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll get you what you ask for on the ground, but against Vita Vea, Devontae David, Devin White, I don't know. I think the Bucs got it. I think they'll keep rolling. The Rams might hit a hiccup. This might be like a vintage Stafford kind of game where he kind of tries to do a little too much.
Okay.
Got an opportunistic defense out there. You saw the 2 pick sixes last week. Like this is I think they got it.
Bro, Vita Vea, bro, he literally, like, bro, I don't know. Some of these defensive players, bro, they got to understand these old linemen have families. Like, they got kids. Like, bro.
They got Twitter, too.
Yeah, bro. It's like, bro, the dude said hike, and Vita Vea just literally just walked him into the quarterback and then just pushed, like, bro had no shot off the line. It was just like, get out my way, dude. Like, bro, you can't just be disrespecting grown men like this. This is not high school no more. These is not kids. These are grown men, and they kids got to go to school. Like, can we understand that you can't just be walking over people like this? Like, I know you probably the biggest man on earth right now, but bruh, could you chill? Like, I seen that as sick. I had to rewind. I'm like, oh shit. Like,
man amongst boys, man. He used to play running back in high school.
See, bro, like shit, I don't even like hearing shit like that. Like, what do you
He's a boy. I saw him dropping the coverage last week.
Yeah, bro. How much do he weigh? 3 what? Like
350. He's a big boy. He's a
moving.
big boy. That doesn't make sense. Moving like that, moving. I'm telling you, he is a Maui from Moana, man, playing football. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. So yeah, but saying I hope you right though. But I took the Rams because I see this as I don't know, like I see it's tough. I just feel like Stafford have been doing good. I feel like this would be a good game, and Stafford ain't really had too many prime time, like not even prime time. This is a 1 o'clock game, but like games where it was like big matchups, like where it's like this is the biggest game of the week. I don't know if he's ever had a game in his whole career where he was in the biggest game of the week at no point. So it's like this is a game for him to really show, like, because everybody, oh, he got this talent similar to A-Rod. Oh, he got talent similar to Mahomes. He just ain't been able to show it. Well, bro, this is your time. You know what I'm saying? You get to go. You know what I'm saying? You got a good team. He got a good team.
Yeah.
2 of the Super Bowl favorites. If you really like that, like they've been saying for years, you just ain't been able to show it. There's no better time than now to show it. But like I said, I hope you're right because we need some of these division guys to start losing. I would not be mad to get this pick wrong, but I'm trying to be unbiased. So I'm going.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you said that. You think about like the Lions play on Thanksgiving every year,
right?
And this is still easily one of the biggest games of his career,
right? Like, bro, it's not. He's never had, and they always get a phony game on Thanksgiving. It's not like they even get.
It's like the Packers. It's over by like the first quarter, halftime, or something like that.
Exactly, bro. So like, I feel like his receivers will have a big game. Hopefully, it's more Cooper Kupp than Woods. I traded away Woods this week to get Keenan. But I feel like even he gonna have a big week because you know the Bucs now they do got a good defense, but they corner is not like that. If you just wanted to be like nitpickish, like and be like, well, what don't they have? That's what they don't have is just like an elite DB. So it's like, and that's what the Rams do. So it's like it's kind of like a matchup problem. This is what we do best: spread it out, hit him, and we got the quarterback now to hit them all. I feel like they'll be able to take advantage. I think it'll be a close game. But I just think the Rams get the ball last and finish them out. I think it'll be like 30, 34, 31.
Ooh.
34, 31. Yeah, I see them coming down at the end of the game, and they're going to go win it. 34, 31, Rams. Like yeah, for that game, I need a prediction. Since this is going to be this game of the week, I need a score. I got 34, 31.
Game of the week, man. I
need a score.
Man, let's see. Brady has what 4? I would say.
Talk to me.
I like that 31. I might go 31-24 though.
Okay, 31-24 Bucs.
I think that you're right. That the strength of the Rams is their pass coverage. You got Jalen back there and blah blah blah. 3 deep.
Yeah.
What could be Pro Bowl receivers. I think Mike Evans has 7 1,000-yard receiving seasons in a row, something like that. 6, 7. Like,
yeah.
Chris Godwin is no slouch, and that's what you bring in the tight ends for too. Like, I don't even think OJ Howard has done anything this whole season.
Right. He haven't had to, yeah.
Except for this game. When you're looking at Gronk, you're looking at Cameron Brate, and all of a sudden, here goes this athletic freak, 6'6", 250, running like a 4.6. He come down the seam, take it away. I think they got too much.
Okay, 31-24. I got 34-31. Listen, like I said, man, your score looks better than my score to me. This would be one when we come back on. I'd be happy to say, Kerr, you was right. Okay, we got a few more games going. We got Seattle versus the Vikings.
I think this is the game the Vikings get over the hump. I think I'm not. I think Seattle got it. I think Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett are in a groove. DK is tight. Defense is not that good. The pass rush is great, but it's Bobby, Jamal, and who out there? I don't know. They have one cool corner who's been balling. I forgot his name, number 2, I think. He's been not balling. He's doing okay. The Vikings have been right there. You know, they barely lost the game. You could make the argument should have won last week with the Cardinals.
For sure.
And the Bengals went to OT right before that. I think I saw a stat that Kirk Cousins has been the most accurate quarterback from the pocket this year.
He's not having a bad year.
He's not. You got the two guys outside. I think their third receiver, I think it's Osborne or something like that. Might have been his name. He's going crazy too. Dalvin, if he's able to go, I think he was doubtful or questionable or something like that. But I think the Vikings get over the hump this week. I'm not high on the Seahawks this year. I think I had them picking last when we did the predictions. I'm sticking by that for right now.
Okay.
I think that Russ is extremely talented. Like you said, though, he's going to have a cool little first couple weeks and then do what Russ does and kind of fade away for some reason or whatever for a little while. And then he might come back at the end of the year, but I don't see it. So I'm going with the Vikings.
Okay, this is another one where, man, I would love if you was right, but I had to go with Seattle. And I wasn't even thinking about the Vikes are 0-2 on some pretty good games. Like they literally could be 2-0 almost. So it's like
right there.
I feel like it's gonna be a shootout, just like how last week was. But the only difference is like in a shootout, I usually lean toward the better quarterback.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
8 out of 10, I usually go that way, especially when it's this big of a gap. Like Russell Wilson is miles better than Kirk.
Right.
So it's like Kirk Brett played so well last week. He's another guy that fall into that category of how consistent are you really? So it's like you look too good last week for that to be a loss. That's when you got to start being questionable when your team, when you got a shaky quarterback, it's like, oh damn, we missed this good week. What this week could look like, who knows? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like I think Seattle pull out a shootout.
Pull it out.
I think they do. But like I said,
in Minneapolis too. It's in Minnesota. I think they had was it in Arizona last week? This might be their home opener.
Let me double check that for you. Let me see.
At the Cardinals.
Ooh. Home opener.
Skull. I think they coming home.
They did play at the Bengals and then at the Cardinals. They done lost by a total of 4 points.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Ooh.
That's tough. Kicker misses by this much, and then you got Joe Burrow just kind of. I think they pull it out this week. They squeak it out.
Now you got me thinking, but I don't know, man. I just feel like our division, no, like you can't just keep losing out of the division. Seattle lose this game. If they lose back-to-back games outside the division, they might be taking their name out of the chances to win the division. And some people might be like, okay, you hyping it. It's that serious. Like, it's that deep this in the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Because we both got the Cardinals going 3-0. Where our other team, man? Did we pick them already too? Oh, I got the Rams going 3-0. You got them going 2-1. So if the Rams go 3, let's just say I'm right, and the Rams go 3-0, and the Cardinals go 3-0, and you 1-2, yeah, okay.
Perfect segue into the next game.
Hey,
perfect segue
to finish off the best division in football, man. With the best team in the best division in football. I don't care what y'all say. 49ers. I mean, Packers at 49ers. Talk to me nice.
It's nah, man. I don't know what it is. As suspect as the Packers defense looked last week against Jared Goff, I think Jimmy G is better than Jared Goff. I think the Niners just have their number, man. The Niners just have their numbers. I think it was something, 2 years ago, whatever it was in the playoffs, threw it for 8 times. There we go. Threw it 8 times. Ran for 300 yards, 200 yards, whatever. Like, come on, man. Like, it's. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers. Now, hey, listen, Devontae can get busy a little bit, especially like with the secondary probably like injuries you guys have had. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but Aaron Rodgers is folded almost every time he comes to California.
Right. So and the stat I just said, I think he 5-6 against us in his career. But the stat that they showed yesterday was he's never beat the Niners when we've had a winning record.
You know, so it's like, man, maybe he gets a little gun shy in front of family when he's out here from Butte College or whatever they're from. Like,
I think it's partly too, like, it's like he can't get, because Aaron Rodgers is such a like ego-driven person that it's like, I just feel like he can't get out of his head. Like, they took Alex Smith over me. Like, I just feel like that's like bothered him so much. That's like when he be trying so hard to like, bro, you are amazing. Just be you. Right. And that'll be enough to make us be like, damn, we passed on that. We be trying to do the extra and do like, and really show like, I'm that guy. We know. We're sorry. We hated more than you do that we didn't take you. I promise you, A-Rod. You don't have to come here and keep trying to prove it to us.
Exactly.
But it's like, hey, if you want to keep coming and doing extra and then we walk away with these wins, great, my guy. That was 16 years ago. You got to let it go. We are trying to move on. You need to move on as well. We weren't even exes. We were just like interested in you, you swipe whatever, what is it, left or right on Tinder?
Right.
We swipe right, we swipe left. Sorry, it just didn't connect. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, I think
if he came here in the offseason or he came to 49ers in the offseason, that could be cool. But Trey's here, so there's no need for that.
It's almost with. Now, if this is, I was on I was on Twitter big. Latin that we could have did it before the draft. Like, and I love Trey, and I'm all for the but hey,
it's not A-Rod.
It's not A-Rod.
It's not A-Rod.
It's not many people in the world ever been A-Rod. So it's like, if you could go get that and put on what we got, you go do that. And even this summer, you still take them phone calls. I don't care. Like, bro, I don't know. I'm a Niner fan that's been around to watch us win 2 Super Bowls, and I feel like we could have won both. I want to see a Super Bowl in my lifetime. So whatever they got to do, if it's put Trey on the shelf for another year and go get A-Rod, I will still get my Trey jersey. I still rock my Trey jersey. I'm still on board with you long term, big dog.
He'll be getting paid millions. Exactly.
I don't feel that bad for you still getting your contract. You was a thumb 3 pick. Your contract is gonna be guaranteed. Good.
You're right.
Hey, but let's go get some money with this 12. I need that. Give us 2 years and let's see.
I think that could be filthy. Is it like, because even then it's like the receivers that he likes is the offense. It's his favorite receivers, Randall Cobb. You got damn near got 2 Randall Cobb. That's kind of people with Ayuk and Debo. Sherfield taking the top off. Kittle will be the best tight end I think he ever played with.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like, too, bro, if we get A-Rod, then Kittle could finally get the targets he needs for them to stop disrespecting him. Like, bro, we ain't gonna get into that, but they tried to say on Twitter that Kittle is a blocking tight end when he got one of the highest.
Lee Smith was swag, brother.
I seen that bullshit. Listen, man. Come talk to me when they could get 1,300 yards and with the 15.6 yards a catch. Come on, bro.
That's nasty.
He did his 1,300 yards with 80 catches. Kelsey broke his record last year. I think he had like 105, 110 catches.
Yeah.
With the GOAT quarterback, Waller, he don't have a GOAT that's quarterback, but he got a quarterback that got a good arm that's throwing 40, 50 times a game.
Right.
I don't know if Jimmy has ever, I ain't gonna say ever. Maybe I think that Saints game.
I hope not. That was a good game though.
That was his best game for us. I still see to this day, like he won us that game. We got 14-0. He came back, but I don't think other than that game, I don't know if he's ever thrown the ball 45, 50 times in a game. So it's like, it's not even the same. It's tough. Like, because if Kittle, you put him on the Chiefs, he's balling, bro. Like, I'm telling you, bro, it'd be cookies.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put Kelsey on our team, he'd be good too. Still, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying to argue.
Oh yeah. You just
But I'm just saying, like, nigga. I mean, people acting like he not like that. Like, just check the numbers, bro. No. To have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons on a run first team too.
It's my argument with Coop, man. Listen, he's got to get the targets to prove it. Like, it's not his fault. You're not getting targets.
Man, because Coop, bro, it's like he's just so inconsistent. But like, we just talking purely talent, like purely what type of player you want at the receiver. Like, build me a receiver. You can't give me 10 players that you would rather have than Coop, just as far as like on some creative player type thing. Like, he's obviously not like, he's not even more consistent than like Terry McLaurin right now. But
no.
As far as who got the built to be a receiver, Coop like that, bro. Like, big like that.
That's the greatest college receiver I think I've ever seen. Is Mark Cooper.
Bro, I'm a Bama fan. I was like, and Julio, what Julio did was great, but when Coop got on campus, it was like, oh my God, like what he was doing was just filthy.
It was stupid. Didn't make sense.
And we are receiver, bro. Like, we just had a receiving class with 4 first-round receivers in it. Mm-hmm. None of them was Coop, bro.
No, not even close.
Ridley was not Coop, bro. Ridley was nasty.
Ridley was nasty. I think Waddle, I might have Jalen Waddle better than Devontae Smith. I might, in terms of especially their college careers. Like if Waddle doesn't get hurt last year, there's no way Devontae wins Heisman.
And that he said that.
There's no way.
He's in because he was on Uncle Shay podcast and he was talking to him. He like, nah, man, Waddle just as good. Like I ain't gonna lie, like a lot of that became because he wasn't there. I was getting all the catches. He said we both would have been balling. He said it wouldn't have been no like I wouldn't have had better numbers than him enough to go get a Heisman. Like it would have been like, well, we both got to get it if we gonna give it to us. Like
there's no way. We'll win the MAC probably.
Hey, I could see Waddle being better, and that's why I was happy when the Dolphins took Waddle over Smith. Like I ain't gonna, and I think Devontae gonna be good too. But wow, he fast as hell. Like
that's a boy. Like that's a boy. I hate the fit with Tua's propensity to throw deep so far in the NFL, paired with them also signing Will Fuller. They're very similar typers. I think we were talking about this. Is they're very similar type receivers in that. I'm a big fan of you got the little guy, the big guy, the possession guy, the blah blah blah. You got the guy going deep. You know, I'm variety. That's why I wanted the Niners to go honestly with Kyle Pitts at 3, because it would have given you could do 2 tight ends, you could split them out wide, you could have like a big guy out wide. You guys do have Jawan Jennings though, so he's cool. But like Debo Ayuk and Kyle Pitts out wide with Kittle in the middle, how would you guard that?
You wanted us to, so you thought Pitts would have been the answer for us?
I think Pitts would have made that offense that much more dynamic versus Trey Lance. I think you could win right now with Kyle Pitts as your tight end 2 and Jimmy G as your quarterback. Okay. And then go get like an A-Rod or something like that next year, or Deshaun, whatever it might be. And then that would take your offense to the next level more than I think Trey takes Debo, Ayuk. Kittle's cool. I'm not saying he's not. Like that's like a good above, I would say top maybe 12 position group, maybe. Ayuk is looking funny in the light, but if you throw Kyle Pitts in there, you can run 2 tight end sets. You could split them out wide. You could split him and Kittle out wide. Go four wide. You could do a whole bunch of stuff with that. So I think it would have made the offense a little more dynamic if they would have went in that direction. But it's tough, man.
I don't know, bro. I don't know if I could, because what Trey bring to the offense,
it's tough.
Like what he gonna bring as far as just like being able to run the ball, being able to throw, being able to throw on the run. Like I just feel like with Shanahan, with all he could do with like lining Debo up as a running back, getting Kittle out wide, Ayuk and sweeps, it's like he got so much like that he could do that now it's like the run pass option with most of, with most of the contract year he didn't got hurt again, so he might not be back. But like I hope Mostert. I'm a Mostert guy. Last year when they were like, we don't need Mostert, psych. We need Mostert. Like, so if we got Mostert to run past, I just feel like with Trey, like he just opened us up to like a whole new like, and I get your Pitts point, but like you said, I don't see a tight end being worth a top 3-4 pick. So it's just like if we'd have went that way, like if we'd have traded up and took Pitts, I would have been furious.
I can see why.
If we would have been at the pick already, he's okay, we could talk, but like you don't give up that much to come up and get a tight end when you already got a top 2 tight end in the league. Like it doesn't make like
it wouldn't. It was showing kind of the thing is like Shanahan, man, it's just like I don't know what he's trying to do. I'm a big fan of playing 11-on-11 football with having like a mobile quarterback that you're not just Brady, right? Or just like somebody like that. You know, get out the pocket, make you account for everybody on the field. But I don't know if Shanahan knows, like, if he even likes that. You know, you see the stuff coming up in the draft where it was like he was coaching Justin Fields to be the lead Evan camp. He was talking to blah 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 XYZ. Like the Mac Jones comparisons were real for a reason. Of like when he was in Washington or when RG3 and they drafted Kirk Cousins, right? Mike Shanahan was the coach. Kyle was the coordinator. You know, and there's rumors that he wanted Kirk. That's how the whole thing started with Kirk coming to the Niners, where it was like, that just might be the kind of guy that he sees with this RPO stuff. Now, with that being said, hey, Trey's a great pass, or he's a good passer. Like he does it all, or he can do it all in college. We'll see if we do it in the pros. Like, you know, everything looks good in college. We'll see what happens. But man, having that kind of flexibility to kind of do that kind of stuff. Like, the one thing that I have against the Niners skill positions is that besides like Jawan Jennings, so News I think like 6'2" or something like that, but they don't have that guy that can just like go up, high point the ball and get it. It's a lot of slants, ins, outs, drags, pivots, that kind of stuff. Get open, run after catch, take it 30, 40 yards. We'll see what happens. You get a guy, Julio-esque, there's like 1 in a million. But you get like a 6'3", 6'4" guy. Now, Jawan Jennings is looking like a boy out of Tennessee. He was looking cool in practice in the preseason, so we'll see if he can actually start getting snaps. But
I caught a touchdown last week. But
see, like having that weapon is nice to have.
Yeah.
So if they could find that in the receiver off the street, cool, perfect. Or like in the draft or something like that. But I think that Kyle Pitts would have taken it to the next level.
It's tough. It's just. Like I see, like, but we, like you say, like if we get Kyle Pitts and then something like you said, like A-Rod or Deshaun would have came, then for sure. But just with Jimmy, I just feel like it's hard for us to take our offense to the next level with Jimmy Z. Like what we doing, and like, come on, and I know it'd be kind of like sounding crazy because I be kind of talking about Jimmy a little bit, but then I also say like I don't think we could get to the Super Bowl without him. So it's kind of like,
right.
I don't know. I don't even really know. Watching him is so frustrating.
Yes.
Because I don't be knowing what I want and be like, all right, Jimmy, I know we need you to play quarterback to win the Super Bowl. But then it'd be like, fuck, what did you just do?
You fucking up right now, buddy.
Right. But it's like, so it's like, I don't know, bro. And then it's like,
he can't give you more. That's what he is.
He can't give you more than what he got. He ain't. It's so like we could win the Super Bowl with him, but like I said, I think I did say this on my first episode. We could win a Super Bowl with Jimmy, but we can't be a dynasty with Jimmy. Like we can't, even with all the talent we have, we can't go win 3 out of the next 6. No. We can't go 3 out of the next 5, or even go to 3 out of the next 5 with Jimmy. No. Can we get to one? And we get there, we really almost beat the Chiefs. Like it's not like, I mean, obviously we ended up losing. And then they got that last touchdown at the end that made it like an 11-point game. Right. And anybody that really watched the full game know that wasn't no 2-score game. No, like, it was close. Like that was just we lost, like fucking we gave up and they just ran it. Like he snuck around the corner and just broke for a touchdown. Yeah. But and it's like I can't say like somebody that came one possession from winning the game, one throw away from being up in the Super Bowl with 2-3 minutes left, can't go win it. I just can't get myself to do that.
Listen, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. I mean, you got Nick Foles beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Come on, man.
So it's like, I don't know.
I think he'll definitely take it there. And that was my point, is if he's good enough to take you there, you make everything, like, I don't know if it would have worked. Like, you take the game last week, right? And you see with Kyle there, what does that change? Not a lot. It could have, like, maybe formations might be different. Like, I think who's your second tight end? It's
Dwelly.
Yeah, like it's a severe upgrade in terms of an athlete and size and everything. He's not a bad blocker. He'll get in the way, but it's like from what he could provide from a flexibility standpoint to do what you got to do, I think would have taken that offense to the next level, at least to set it up in terms of it's like the Broncos almost. It's like, hey, you take a quarterback and plug it in.
I mean, that's an interesting take. I got to see it. I got to ask more 90 people how they feel about that, because I haven't really heard people say, like, so you think Kyle, so I got to, let me write that down. Kyle,
I think if you trade 3 first-round picks to go to number 3, you got to take a quarterback. No doubt about it.
But if you you feel like
they had the 3rd pick, I might go Pitts.
Writing that down. So I'm going to have to ask that on another episode with some more Niner fans. Do y'all think Kyle Pitts could have made the offense more electric than Trey Lance? Well, obviously, no. I'm not going to ask too many Niner fans. I'm going to ask some fans that's like people that's not Niner fans, because so they could just give me their honest opinion, because most Niner fans is in love with Trey.
Trey's not even playing right now.
Yeah.
You can only do so much from the bench. Like, Kyle Pitts would be playing.
True. That's interesting. We definitely write that down. That's a hot take, actually. That's for sure a hot take. Kyle Pitts over Trey Lance.
Yeah, I think it would have.
Okay. And then another thing, before we move on to the last game, Jaron Bear came on last episode. I just posted on Wednesday. Y'all go tune in. He said that he don't, because I had asked him, because he tweeted something that made it seem like he felt Kyle Shanahan was more of just an OC than a head coach. So I asked him about it. He said he don't necessarily think that. He just feels that he needs, because Jaron is big on like offensive-minded guys or big ego guys. And I agree.
Okay.
So it's like he said he feels like Burr should bring somebody in to bounce ideas off of, because like right now, the way it's looking, he bouncing off ideas off his dad. Well, that's who taught you football. So like y'all think the same. So when
Right.
you call and say, "Hey, Dad, I think this," he'd be like, "Well, me too, probably." Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a, oh, well, no, what about this A, B, and C? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
man, kind of thing.
would he a good example he brought up was Andy Reid. Andy Reid been having good offenses, Andy Reid been having great teams. He get Eric Bieniemy and they go win the Super Bowl together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Granted, he had Patrick Mahomes as well, but I mean, with the Eagles, he had really good teams. They went to 4 NFC championships
For sure.
and only made 1 Super Bowl.
Yep.
So do you agree with that they not necessarily step down as head coach, but bring in somebody else that kind of look at the game a little differently, so that, like, would that be beneficial for us?
I think so. I think that it's he's going to want to call the offense regardless. I feel like,
Right.
Yeah, it would be helpful to have like a non-yes man in your corner.
Right.
I'm not the biggest Kyle Shanahan guy.
Okay.
He's not even a 500 coach.
Yeah. But that's where, I mean,
the record. Listen, we can talk about injuries all you want. You got to play the game.
That's still matter though, bro. 2 of the years he been with us, our quarterback ain't been there.
That's the strength and conditioning problem. That's not his fault.
Exactly.
You got to call the game, bro. He got to call the game. He's 31-35 regular season career. Like I think that Kyle is very good at drawing stuff up, coordinating stuff, coordinating the offense, run game coordinator, that kind of stuff. Like, he's a very good. He knows what to do. He definitely does need somebody in his corner that has some experience. At least just like, hey, we're up in the Super Bowl. Let's run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do too much.
That's where the ego come in. And so that's where I feel like if he's saying you got that other guy there, that's like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
it's not about you right now. It's not about what's going to, like, let's do this to win the game. So like,
yeah, that's at that point it is like exactly to that point of like the ego. If okay, cool, he brings in a new OC or assistant head coach, whoever it might be, to help him out. As at what point does he like fully delegate to him versus like, what do you think we should do? Oh, we should do this. It's a good idea. We're gonna do this. Like,
and that's why it got to be somebody like an Eric Bieniemy that like you respect from day one. It's not somebody that you get in, like, you got to earn my respect, and then I start listening to you. No, it got to be somebody that you already know, that's established, not even that you know, but that you know has a good reputation in the league. That men, like, I can't think of somebody off the top of my head right now, but like if let me think.
So what a lot of teams will do is like the Bucs and the Cowboys, like have a cool college or professional quarterback, Byron Leftwich, Kellen Moore. They'll come in and be the OC. They'll kind of groom them or whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is like the exact opposite. Where we're trying to find like not a mentor role, but just kind of like someone who's been around the block. I would say like a Brian Schottenheimer maybe.
Yeah.
They do a lot of OC stuff, or a lot of some West Coast, stuff with like Marty Schottenheimer. So they have the whole dads and dad stuff. I would say somebody, like you said, man, it's a lot of respect. Like,
it gotta be, because and the thing is, bro, about Kyle, like you said, he don't have a winning record, but he has been to 2 bowls and been the OC and head coach of them. He did turn Matt Ryan into an MVP. That was like, I don't know where that came from. Like, he turned a Jimmy G led offense into a top 5 off. Like, so it's like he has done things that's been like, okay,
yeah,
like, he did
got the 2 Super Bowls, and he's the reason they lost both though.
Hey, but he's the reason we got there too. He got us there.
You could be both. I'm just saying, you could be both, but you're also the reason they lost as well. So
it'd be tough, man. Like the Niner, like I feel like there's so many different like pieces that people like. The Jimmy miss pass was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Shanahan coaching kind of like in that 4th quarter and like halfway through that 3rd was really questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the big throw, I don't care. Nick Bosa was held, bro. They was choke holding him, and then Mahomes gets the deep ball, which I don't know how our secondary let that happen. Like, bro, and I'm just a big guy on our defense was what got us there. Our running game was what got us there. So it's like our defense, even though they playing Mahomes, what did they give up in the 4th quarter? 21?
I think so.
It's like, bro, like even with Mahomes, it's still hard to give up 21 in the 4th. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot more than just like one aspect that lost us that game.
It is, but there's one common denominator in.
Now he's to blame for the Falcons game. All they had to do was,
You don't think so for the Chiefs game?
I just feel like it's a little bit more evenly, like, could be spread out. Like, If the holding call get called, it's 3rd and 25 or something. They might not even get that first. Now it's Mahomes, so they still got a shot to get the first, but they might not get it on 3rd and 25. We get the ball back right there. That's almost game over.
It was 20-10 going into the fourth quarter, and then the Chiefs scored 21 in the fourth.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like you can't. I don't care if he is generational. You got to put some of that on our defense when we're talking about our defense being one of the best defenses in the league.
Right.
It's a 15-minute one quarter with we had to get the ball too. So it's not like he had the ball for the whole 15 minutes. So it's like you get him to 3rd and 15, and then bro, like he basically threw a punt to Tyreek Hill, and bro was wide open. Like I don't know.
That's the offense, man. That's what they do.
And then
out there.
And we can't let that happen. So I feel like I'm not saying the defense is the biggest part of the blame. Like Shanahan and Jimmy could get a little bit more blame than them, but I be feeling like everybody be like, well, man, what they supposed to do is Mahomes. I don't want to hear that shit. I had high expectations for our defense. 21 and a quarter.
That's one of the better defenses ever.
I was disappointed in that, bro. Like, so I don't know.
Listen, I'm a huge Nick Bosa guy. I'm still pissed that we trade Khalil Mack. The whole plan is to tank for Nick Bosa. We get blown out at home by the Niners. And that the last game, like the last time we played, I think was it at home? I don't know. It was prime time though. Got blown out. And then we lose the first overall pick to you guys as well.
Whew.
That didn't make sense to me. That was the worst thing that happened. That was the second overall pick.
That was we was at home.
45-3 or something like that. It was embarrassing.
Man, do you know how much hell I gave Dijon for that? Like, we beat y'all and did better in the draft. Like, that was.
We're tanking for Nick Bosa the whole season.
Yeah.
And then we lose him to the Niners. I was like, well.
Lost bragging rights, and we ended up with Nick.
Come on, man. Last season, come on, dude. So, no, I'm a big Nick Bosa guy. I think it's tough because he's been injury prone even since college.
Right, for sure.
And the best like you said earlier, the best ability is availability. But when he's on, man, he's better than Joey.
Yeah, for sure.
He's better than Joey. He's up there in terms of like top 5, 6. I don't know where in that top 5 or 6, but he's up like.
Bro, he already got a whole highlight tape like 2.5 minutes long with just him getting held. Like it was nice fan like, man, I'm so sorry, Nick, but like I don't even know what your numbers would look like if they would just play you straight up. Like it would just.
That'd be stupid, man.
He them off the line almost every time. Like it's just.
I mean, it's the truth.
And when I seen it live with the Browns game, bro.
Yeah.
When I seen him jump up, pick that ball, stiff arm dude, and I'm like, oh shit, I was like, bro, the whole arena went crazy because he shouldn't be able to do that, bro.
He's generational. He's not. He might be Khalil Mack.
He could be there, bro. He could get if he just got to stay healthy, bro. That's the only thing in football that be making me worried. It'd be hard for a lot of these guys, and it's like it's football, bro. It's high contact. It's high, like it's hard to be called. I don't like to call a lot of these players soft or like this and that. Like, bro, it's football, bro. Like you literally crashing into another grown man at full force,
15, 20 miles per hour.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, bro. I guess now injury prone, you can label them injury prone. Obviously, getting hurt every year, but I hate when people be saying like, "Oh, this person is soft," or "Oh, he don't." Like, bro,
It's different.
But let's move on to the last game before we end it. We got another division rivalry game, Monday night, Eagles Cowboys.
I picked the Cowboys win the division, but I got the Eagles taking this one out. Gallup going down. The Eagles have two decent cornerbacks, not 3.
Okay.
If I had Gallup in, it'd be a little bit of a different story. I think the defense will do enough. Losing Brandon Graham to that Achilles is tough, but I think if Jalen Hurts can continue what he's been doing so far this season from the pocket, out of the pocket, Devontae just keep cooking cook Trayvon for a little bit. You know, Jalen Reagor gets open deep. Goddard, Zach Ertz. They got weapons. I think now Micah's a boy, but if he plays defensive end, it might be a different story. But I think the Eagles got it. It's gonna be a close one though. I think it's gonna be a good game.
Okay. For me, I took the Cowboys, and I took them. Well, I mean, obviously, because I got the Eagles finishing last in the division.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the Cowboys need to pull this out. And the Cowboys been looking a little bit better than I think. Like I had them finishing third. Like I'm a few weeks from being like, maybe I was a little bit off on that. But I'm still holding on to the Giants. That's why the Giants, this is a must win. So it's like, we'll see. But I feel like the Cowboys are looking better. Dak is looking. I'm not a guy that like to throw out elite because like I like to keep words what they stand in. Like, but if he not elite, he in that next category. Like I feel like he done moved himself up into that second tier of
he's like a B.
Yeah, like he's not in the Mahomes, A-Rod, Russell Wilson, like all of them type of guys, like yet, but he's top 10.
True. Oh no, for sure. No, Dak is balling. I'm not a Dak guy. I'm with you. Like you watched him the last couple of years. It's not the first game. It's the Buccaneers. He threw for what? Like he threw for 400 yards. He threw it like 59 times. I hope he threw for 400 yards.
Yeah, but 58 was 58.
58. You know what I mean? Like I hope you throw for that many yards when you throw that many times.
Right.
I think that he's perfectly fit for this offense, and that it's not too many shots. I think he has great weapons. I think CD getting open, especially in the slot, where if you put CD in the slot, he's better than almost every team's third cornerback. Easily. So that's a matchup problem right there. You got Coop, Zeke, and Pollard coming out of the backfield doing RPO stuff or versus blah, blah, blah. It's a fun offense, man. And I think Dak's good enough to captain that. Like you said, he's not elite, but he's good enough. Like he might put somebody over, but he will not take over a game. I don't think.
He's not quite there yet, but I feel like he definitely trending in that direction. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he finished this year and next year he's in that category of elite quarterback. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Like and that's a lot for me to say because I've been down on Dak for a while.
Man.
But hey, man, like I'm saying, we got this podcast and I'm trying to keep it straight, unbiased from what I just been seeing. And I feel like Dak is moved. If I'm gonna say Josh Allen making that leap after one good year and been kind of mediocre the rest of his whole life, I can't be sitting here and be saying Dak not on the same trajectory.
Right.
Dak is balling.
Right. I'll tell you, my MVP was between Stafford and Dak.
You said, yeah.
It's tough.
I wouldn't be surprised. And even without Gallup, like you still got CD and Coop. You still got and Pollard showed up last week. I think he ran for 103 yards last week.
That's right.
And Zeke didn't do bad. Like he got a touchdown. He had about 68. What he had about 60, 70 yards, I think.
Let's see.
So
stats. Let's check it out. Let's go with the box score. Tony Pollard, 13 for 109.
109.
Zeke, 1671. That's 4.4 carry.
He had 71? Come on, man. So 71, and that's 180 right there between them two. You could get 180 from them, plus what you're going to get from CD and Coop. Yeah, that'll do it.
Dak was 23 of 27.
23 of 27. Come on, bro. Yeah, I'm feeling better about it now. Yeah, I got Cowboys. We good. So that's the last game. I'm trying to make sure we picked every one. I got every game circled. I got it written down. This is actually good. We got a couple games different. So we're gonna see somebody record might be looking a little janky come week. You know what I'm saying? Week.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Now I'm a notorious jinx, but I'm feeling good.
So we're gonna see, man. Appreciate you, Cousin Ker, for coming on. We're gonna have you back on for week 4 with my guy D-Light. Everybody tune in to this episode. Next episode, I'll be having my guy Zach on. We're gonna be talking some football. So we picking the games with Zach. I'll be on talking the games after the week for next week game. So just keep tuning in, like, subscribe. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. If you stayed this long, we appreciate you. See you later.
Hey, thank you for having me, Def.
Kerr, my guy.
Love.